For the longest of time, Marvel were seemingly trying to hide the trailer for Ironheart, their gender-bent, safer and more diverse Iron Man for modern audiences. Now, on the eve of the trailer's release, new behind-the-scenes footage all but confirms that not only have they indeed been hiding Ironheart, it also reveals exactly what Disney and Marvel are so afraid of. Let's dive in. Little more than 5 years ago, Marvel was the biggest entertainment brand in history, bar none. The MCU had conquered the world, appealing across borders, languages, and cultures. Then, Kevin Feige conspired with Bob Iger to get rid of Marvel's own internal quality control, and in the process, all checks and balances. With those removed, Team Feige went about making the MCU more inclusive, so everyone, especially women and women of color at that, would be able to see themselves represented on screen and thus feel seen and validated. How did they do that? Well, by replacing the male characters that audiences of both genders all over the world had fallen in love with cheap, more diverse female counterparts that no one responded to or gave a crap about, anywhere. The most gratuitous of these cheap, gender-bent and palette-swapped knockoffs is Riri Williams' Ironheart. Introduced in Black Panther 2, Keep the Water Mexicans Out of Wakanda Forever, the bots on the old Twitter cheered her on, but actual viewers, not so much. By the end of that movie, not a lot of people wanted to see Ironheart ever again. Alas, plans for much more Ironheart were already in motion. The end result of this diversity drive is well known. The MCU became exclusionary, the audience fled en masse, and ironically, the very women they tried to appeal to were the first to go. But, as we say in my neck of the woods, one disaster rarely comes alone. Marvel compounded the damage of their diversity drive by going all in on Disney+, because that's what Bob Iger wanted. Creating series after series, which cost the same as the movies, but which consistently put representation and inclusion first, while actual story and compelling characters were little more than afterthoughts, gradually eroding confidence in the Marvel brand. The end result of that we've known for years. Functioning as homework, and unwanted homework at that, the Disney Plus series only furthered the demise of the movies, which had their own problems, to the point where the fluke Deadpool and Wolverine is the only unabashed hit they've had in years. As Spider-Man No Way Home was a Sony co-production, and yes, Thunderbolts is also included in that calculation. Because no matter how some are trying to spin it, relative to its budget, Thunderbolts is also an underperformer. That they're using 3 out of 5-star reviews in their promotional material is desperation. And just because it isn't a massive flop like Captain America Brave New World was, doesn't make it a hit. Bob Iger tried to spin that movie as a turning point for Marvel, but I'm old enough to remember when he did the exact same thing with Brave New World, and it wasn't. So let's see how Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday work out before declaring the new Thunderbolts Avengers to be any kind of turning point. Because how can it possibly be a turning point when Ironheart is still coming out after it? Though there are plenty indications that many within both Disney and Marvel would probably rather it wasn't, because the behind-the-scenes footage released on May 13th, on the eve of the release of the trailer, indicates that they're deeply worried about how it's going to be received. I mean, the recurring theme in this footage, from Ryan Coogler to everyone else, is that Riri Williams is a real, legit character. And not just a woke replacement receiving the Iron Man mantle, even if she was created in 2016, when Marvel Comics were at their absolute wokest. That's really all they talk about in this footage, trying to sell Ironheart as a legit character that has a real fan base and a real legacy, which she isn't, and she hasn't. And that's what they're so deathly afraid of everyone pointing out. That's what they're trying to get ahead of by releasing this footage before the trailer. Their big problem here, though, is that Ironheart isn't just a product of the wokest period of Marvel Comics. being filmed in the aftermath of Black Panther 2, only to sit on the can for a few years. It's also a product of the wokest, most destructive period of Marvel Studios. I mean, the whole concept, as it's executed on film, may as well have been a parody by the Babylon Bee or something, because it is that excessive. Fittingly, so is the associated marketing, most notably this paid-for puff piece in Empire magazine, where star Dominic Thorne relays getting 2 thumbs up from Robert Downey Jr. himself. I want you all to take a moment to appreciate the fact that there's no video of this. There is no visual record of Robert Downey Jr. actually passing the torch to her. All we have is her word, used as the headline in what amounts to a paid-for piece of marketing material. That tells me that Downey Jr. couldn't be asked to attend a photo shoot, and let's be honest here, there's a very good chance that that whole 2 thumbs up thing never actually happened. Disney marketing may simply have told her to say it, or even drafted the words for her, and told him just to go along with it. Because since this thing is coming out, they just have to run through the motions here. Even if Ironheart isn't just going to bomb, it's going to do far worse than that. Whatever goodwill the Thunderbolts may have been able to generate, Ironheart is going to undermine and erode right in time for Fantastic Four First Steps. For years, I've been saying that Marvel should have scrapped everything they had in development and in the can. Just pull a David Zaslav and scrap it all, Batgirl style. And then, once they'd gotten similar quality control and checks and balances to what they had before back in, then they could start over with a completely new slate. Yes, doing so would have cost hundreds of millions, but that would have been the price of saving the Marvel brand. Because the true cost of releasing content like Ironheart, Echo, Agatha All Along, and more like it is the brand itself. How much is that worth? Do you think Ironheart might yet surprise us all, or is it set to be yet another nail in the coffin of the MCU? Let me know in the comments.